This is ABC 15 Mornings.
Well, how you doing on this Wednesday? You feeling good, up and out and at 'em, or maybe you're still in bed going, oh, that might be the case considering what's going on outside right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, it is foggy outside. Let's go ahead and show you what it's been looking like so far this morning. Here we go. Yeah, this is kind of like the best of the fog. This is video of early morning fog. We also on our ADOT cameras seeing that fog build in as so many people heading out to work and school nice and early. And yeah, I mean, this is what you have to deal with. Visibility greatly reduced here, and you need to know that before you head out.
Well, yeah, there's a warning there because you're probably going to need a little extra time, at least some of you. Want to get you right over to Iris Hermosillo for a look at what is happening. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, that was fog that developed last night, so we saw it as early as yesterday. And you see these ADOT cameras showing you that low visibility out there too. Chelsea keeping a close eye on that morning drive. We've got that dense fog advisory from central Arizona to southwest Arizona. That dense fog alert includes the entire Phoenix metro area with the exception of some of our foothills like Fountain Hills and Cave Creek and Carefree. But we've got that alert from Casa Grande up to Gilbert to Tempe to Ahwatukee, Glendale, Peoria, Goodyear, Buckeye, all under this dense fog advisory that's in effect until 11 a.m. And it stretches to our southwest too, all the way down into Yuma, even Southern California and up the Colorado River Valley into spots like Parker. It's in effect until 11 a.m. as visibility will continue to be at a quarter mile or less here this morning. And this is going to be an impact to that morning drive. Our South Mountain camera showing you that thick fog. Typically we can see the city lights. Not the case right now. It's 53 in Phoenix now. Temperatures this afternoon will make it back into the mid 60s. We'll see that fog clearing out by late morning, and this afternoon mostly sunny to partly cloudy conditions. Chelsea will talk about when the 70s are back in just a bit, but you've been watching those ADOT cameras. Any issues on the roads because of the fog yet?
No. We're actually looking good, Iris. I'm going to keep watching the roadways. I'll let you know, of course, if anything changes here. But I-10, especially if you're traveling from the west side of town, seeing low visibility. You're going to use those low beams. Don't use the high ones. And then also leave extra stopping distance just in case. Watching the East Valley, overall green flows right now. If you're traveling from east side to west side using the 202 South Mountain, you're good to go. If you're traveling up north, you're going to start to now see those little areas of breaks between I-17 and the 51 on Loop 101 as you're traveling eastbound. But we're used to that for this time of day. I-17 southbound approaching the snack, and then just after that point, a little slow around 44 miles per hour. If you travel through Avondale, 18 miles per hour is where you're at before you get to the 101. Then it's a little stop and go once you go through the stack, and that's where we're seeing some of that fog that's pretty heavy. So I'll go over some desert drive times here and show you some more ADOT cameras in just a few minutes.
Chelsea, thank you. What could make a mom take the lives of her 3 small children? That is the question so many people are asking about 22-year-old Rachel Henry.
And some serious concerns, right? She is behind bars this morning. And this is heartbreaking. The funerals are now being planned for her babies. Our John Genovese is live near a memorial that continues to grow this morning. And John, this family really hasn't been in Arizona for very long.
No, Kaylee. In fact, Henry just moved here from Oklahoma a few months ago. Her bond is now set at $3 million. And in court yesterday, prosecutors argued for such a high amount because they say she has few, if any, connections here and could be a flight risk. But take a look behind me. This is just one of several memorials now set up outside this home. You can see there are flowers and 3 candles for each of those 3 children that were killed. Now, as you mentioned, the big question still is why she may have done this, but through court paperwork, we're learning some of these absolutely disturbing details, some parts we just won't share on TV. Henry's accused of smothering her 3 young kids, then staging them in a front living room to make it look like they were sleeping. Phoenix police say she admitted to the murders, and last night we spoke with a friend of Henry's who's known her since she moved here. That friend said this is simply unthinkable given their conversations.
All I know is she just would not stop talking about her kids. Like, she would see something and she would, oh, my kids would like that, like, you know.
And Henry is due in court again next week. Of course, we will stay on top of any new developments in this case, guys. And certainly there is a lot to process for so many people in this community.
Yeah, John, we know detectives are still trying to piece together exactly how all of this went down, and just so heartbreaking at the same time. Thank you for that. This type of case really can have a big impact on our first responders who go to these incidents not knowing exactly what they'll find.
It's not natural to see things happen to children. So for a lot of us in public safety, those do have a different effect.
The Phoenix Police Department does have a dedicated team called the Employee Assistance Unit, and that unit is available to help officers, dispatchers, and others cope with such horrific situations. Well, let's just into the newsroom. New details on a crash overnight. Phoenix police now telling us the woman that was hit by a car near 35th Avenue and Bethany home has died. Officers say she was not in the crosswalk at the time and may have stopped in the middle of the road. The driver stayed on scene and is cooperating with police. Today, a special procession for Master Sergeant Nathan Goodman, who died in a parachute training accident in Eloy. Tonight, his body will be escorted to Fort Bragg in North Carolina. Members of the community plan to line the streets holding American flags as a tribute to this decorated Green Beret who gave so much of his life serving our nation.
Well, today the push to build a bridge over Tonto Creek could move forward. The House Transportation Committee is set to discuss a bill focused on funding for this, and that measure would set aside $20 million from the general fund to build the bridge at the Bar X crossing. Yesterday, by the way, the Senate Appropriations Committee also took up that bill.
6:05 on this Wednesday, Senators Kirsten Sinema and Martha McSally remain loyal to their party positions in the first procedural votes of President Donald Trump's impeachment trial. After nearly 13 hours of debate, the Senate approved rules for the trial. Lawmakers adjourned just before midnight. The major change from the original rules proposed by Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is that arguments will now take place over 3 days instead of 2. Opening statements will begin today at 11 o'clock our time, starting with the House prosecution team. We will have live coverage on ABC15, and during that special report, you can get your local news on our mobile app as well as your favorite streaming device.
6 minutes past, and happening today, more Arizona fire crews are heading to Australia. At least 10 firefighters from different federal agencies in our state will be leaving this afternoon as more than 120 fires continue to burn across Australia. Those flames destroying an area described as the size of Iceland.
I'm Melissa Blasius. It took years of neighbors' complaints and an ABC15 investigation to fix the swamp in Goodyear.
It's dry.
Janet Kirschbaum from Goodyear's Pebble Creek community finally can enjoy the green space behind her home after a battle over wasted water.
It had to have been easily 2 or 3 feet high, like here.
Agricultural runoff from nearby fields headed down Bullard Wash. Conditions worsened over the last few years, and this summer there was so much stagnant water it created a nearly mile-long swamp. Neighbors say the water flooded out roads, caused slip and fall hazards, and even brought mosquitoes to spread the West Nile virus.
That's why we came to you.
After the ABC15 investigators pushed for answers, Goodyear city officials admitted they found major damage in a drainage pipe, so the agricultural runoff had nowhere else to go but above ground. Crews recently completed a $700,000 repair job, keeping the flow in the underground pipeline again. The city of Goodyear also made permanent changes to ensure backups like this never happen again. We'll tell you about that tonight at 10.
Melissa Blasius is reporting for us. Happening today, the first of 2 meetings about projects in Tempe aimed at easing congestion and improving safety. The locations, Rural and Rio Salado Parkway and Rural and University. Today's meeting starts at 11 a.m. at the Tempe Transportation Center. The other one is Saturday. We've got more information about it at abc15.com/Operation Safe Roads.
Well, the town of Gilbert working to make life a lot easier for working parents there. The Infant at Work program started back in December of 2018, all to help moms and dads ease back into work life after maternity leave. It can be so emotional, right? So far, 6 parents have taken advantage of this opportunity, 5 moms and a dad. So we talked to someone in that program right now whose 5-month-old son will retire from the program in about a month or so.
I just thought it was a really good opportunity to continue our bonding. Being my third child, I was one, ready to come back, but at the same time a little bit nervous.
He's just chilling out there.
So cute. You know, it can help with child care costs too, because those can be really expensive. Any employee can participate. That includes police officers to city planners. Gilbert officials are saying they discuss any potential challenges beforehand, all to accommodate a parent.
Well, next on ABC 15 Mornings, your social media behavior won't just make you unpopular among your friends and family. It could also get you fined. We'll explain.
Plus, would a school marshal program help to keep our kids safer? And a breakdown of some scholarships up for grabs right now. Yeah, that'll get your attention. Just a few of the things we are watching in education this morning.
6:12 on this Wednesday. Let's get you up to speed on your top headlines. More U.S. troops are now being evaluated for potential injuries from the Iranian missile strikes. Earlier this month, Iran targeted a base in Iraq where American soldiers were being housed in retaliation for the U.S. killing one of its top generals. Toyota is recalling nearly 3.5 million vehicles around the world because of a problem that could stop airbags from deploying if you get into a crash. The recall covers the Corolla, Matrix, and Avalon models dating back as far as 2011.
Hey, Uber testing a new feature that would allow some drivers to set their own prices, and it could mean those drivers could charge, wait for it, up to 5 times what Uber would for a ride. And right now, the feature is being tested in California.
Well, we'll have to see how that plays out. Right now, though, I want to show you what our accident log group traffic maps look like if you're getting ready to leave right this moment. Overall, we still look pretty good and quiet out there. There's not a lot happening on the Valley freeways other than some fog that you're going to run into. So low visibility is something to consider this morning and keep in mind. But overall, the East Valley's quiet. The 6202s, the 101, I-10 around the Broadway curve. If you travel on US 60 and you're traveling basically through Gilbert over to I-10 from the 202 over to that stretch, it's going to take you 20 minutes. Not bad at all. North stretch, we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown on the 101 eastbound between I-17 to the 51, and that's going to be around 36 miles per hour. You're used to the stop and go in that area at this point. I-17 southbound, brakes begin around Glendale. They lighten up before you even get to the stack, and then a little slow before you go around the Durango curve. Check out I-10. If you're traveling eastbound through Avondale, it's pretty slow. It's going to lighten up once you get closer to the 101, and then it'll be slow again through the stack. Look at this desert drive time. If you're traveling from the 303 all the way over to the mini stack, it'll take you 42 minutes to go 23 miles. So you really need to factor in that time. Look at our ADOT camera. This is I-10 as you're traveling through Dysart. You can barely see some of the cars traveling in the eastbound direction here. So remember to keep those beams on low. Once you get closer to I-10, we have another camera we want to show you. In the stack area, it starts to lighten up a little bit as well once you're here near the 101. Then once you get closer to 35th, 27th Avenue, you'll be smooth sailing and no issues at all. But we want to check in with meteorologist Iris Hermosillo. You have a lot to fill us in on.
Yeah, this fog that you're seeing, thanks for showing us those valley cams, because that really gives you that perspective of that low visibility out there. And this fog is going to stick around through the morning drive. So even if you're just waking up with us, know that as you head outside, maybe a little later this morning, it's likely the fog will still be here. Temperatures also chilly this morning. We're down to 53 in Phoenix, so it's a colder start than it was yesterday morning. We're also waking up to temperatures below freezing in Flagstaff, down to 28 degrees in Flagstaff, 36 in Heber and in Show Low. Payson, good morning. You're starting the day at 39 degrees, but your relative humidity is at 100%. And so that is a good indicator of where that fog is developing, where we see those relative humidity values in the 90s or again, close to 100. So that means there's a lot of moisture out there still. And as those temperatures cool, we start to see that fog develop. We've got low visibility down to a quarter of a mile now in Gila Bend. Visibility dropping at Phoenix Sky Harbor to 7 miles. We've seen visibility down to a quarter of a mile in Show Low throughout the morning too. Low visibility in Casa Grande. So this is why we are under those fog alerts. In the valley, visibility could go lower. And again, even though it's at 7 miles at the airport right now, know that some pockets of the valley could certainly have lower visibility. That dense fog advisory in effect until 11 a.m. for Phoenix, areas just to our southeast and all of southwest Maricopa County. Also, if you're traveling down to Yuma or Southern California, these fog alerts stretch all the way into Southern California, up through Blythe, and even out near Parker too, so right along the river. What you're not going to see is any new rain or any new snow out there. We will begin the process of drying out behind our latest storm system. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies today, and then tonight you'll notice those clouds will be clearing out. We'll see more sunshine back by tomorrow, and we are going to stay rain-free through the weekend. So foggy and chilly as you step outside. It's 51 in Gilbert, 50 in Laveen, and 48 now in Peoria. If you're hitting the trails, damp and foggy for that sunrise hike, and then by lunchtime, clearing but cool. If you're doing an evening hike, a sunset hike, that sun will set at 5:50. Temperatures will be down into the low 60s, and skies will be mostly clear for that sunset hike. Today, a high of 65. Then tomorrow, more sunshine, highs back in the 70s, and check out that weekend forecast. We're talking highs in the low 70s through the weekend. We'll talk about those statewide highs up next, Nick.
617 Iris, people living in Gilbert tell us they're being threatened with fines and other penalties for criticizing their HOA board on social media. This is a letter received last week from attorneys representing the board. They want the comments removed immediately. Now, at least 11 other neighbors who live near Balvis and Baseline say they have received similar letters.
They are asking me to basically censor the speech of the 650 members that belong to that page.
We reached out to the HOA board for comment, but we're still waiting to hear back.
I'm Danielle Lerner. Here's what we're watching in education right now. Is the school marshal program the key to protecting students on campus? Well, the supporters of House Bill 2031 think so. If passed, school boards would be allowed to appoint, train, and eventually arm select faculty or staff to act as a school marshal. Representative John Fillmore is behind the bill, which is in the House Public Safety Committee today. The Arizona School Boards Association does not support the idea. A day of action tomorrow for those who think all of Arizona's high school seniors should be able to access in-state tuition and scholarships regardless of their immigration status. The group Aliento hosting its 2020 Education Day. They'll be at the Capitol talking with members of both parties. Anyone who plans to attend does need to register on their website. And high school seniors living in the Tempe area near Arizona Mills could get a $1,500 scholarship to continue their education. The Simon Youth Foundation has been awarding scholarships for more than 20 years based on financial need, academic achievement, and community involvement. You have until February 19th to apply. Head to syf.org/scholarships for more info. I'm Danielle Lerner, and that's what we're watching in education right now.
All right, Danielle, thank you for that. Rock legend Alice Cooper expected to announce a new partnership with Mesa Public Schools today. They're working to bring a new Solid Rock Teen Center to downtown Mesa as early as this summer. And that building will provide free music, arts, and dance programs to young people between the ages of 12 and 20. Okay, so if you love country, we are ready to help you rock. One ticket, 8 shows. Sounds good, right? It is the 2020 Country Mega Ticket for Auction Pavilion. From May to October, you can see Lady Antebellum, Sugarland, Tim McGraw, Rascal Flatts, and more, all for one price. Tickets go on sale Friday, and they start at $275. Well, as we continue our countdown to the Oscars, we're now learning who will be presenting this year's Academy Awards.
Yeah, so continuing with the Oscars tradition, last year's big winners, Olivia Colman, Rami Malek, Regina King, and Mahershala Ali will be among the presenters. Watch the 92nd Academy Awards Sunday, February 9th, right here on ABC 15.
We're all so excited about it. Well, teachers, we appreciate you, and so do the businesses here in town. One in particular has something special for you, some discounts to offer you this weekend and all year long. I'll explain.
To get the best credit card or loan rates, you have to have the best credit score. Coming up, Jill lets you know the most important things you can do to raise your score in the new year.
All right, as you get ready to step outside, it is foggy here as we kick off our Wednesday morning. So give yourself extra time as you may have to slow things down a bit because of that low visibility. Otherwise, grab that jacket because this morning is colder than it was yesterday. You won't need that umbrella today as we're done with those rain chances. But look at those temperatures. We're talking 40s and 50s across the valley. 48 right now in Goodyear. It's only 51 in Gilbert, 49 in Fountain Hills, and we've dropped to 48 in Cape Creek. Anthem, good morning. You're down to 47 degrees. So off to a colder start here this morning. It's going to be damp out there, but again, staying rain-free. After our foggy morning, we're looking for temperatures to climb back into the 60s this afternoon, with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies through the day today. We'll likely reach those 60s in the early afternoon. That means we'll remain in the 50s through lunchtime. You might be wearing that sweater through the day today. That high of 65 degrees by the middle of the afternoon. And then the 70s, they're back tomorrow with high temperatures in the 70s through the weekend, morning temperatures in the 40s, and then more breezes this upcoming week. We'll talk about those fog alerts next. Chelsea.
All right, thanks, Iris. Barnes & Noble is hosting Education Appreciation Days. This is happening this weekend. It's the last one in January, so don't miss it because you'll want to participate. Any teacher, pre-K through 12th grade, can score 25% off their entire purchase and 10% off in the cafe. This is good for public, private, charter, or homeschool teachers. I just can't speak this morning. Come on in, sign up to get the educator card. By the way, it's free, no purchase required, and it's not signing you up for any kind of membership other than to get you discounts. So it's really great. It's active for 2 years, and all year long, holders can get 20% off in-store purchases. You just got to bring it in with you, and also bring something today if you do want to sign up over the weekend to prove that you're actually a teacher. Maybe your ID card, whatever. I have all these details for you online as well. Go to abc15.com/smartshopper. But I asked because I know some other teachers, we've mentioned this in years past, have said, well, what about college teachers? Because they don't make the cutoff in this one. But they actually have a Barnes & Noble college section. It's completely separate division of the company, and they have their own website and deals and products and everything. So I have it all linked for you. Just go to our site. That way you won't feel excluded. They want to include you.
There we go.
Full service.
Yeah, because we love all our teachers, right?
Of
We're so
course.
grateful for them. They deserve it.
Thanks, Chelsea.
Chelsea, thanks. Hey, Apple is reportedly getting ready to launch a new low-cost iPhone. Word is it'll look similar to the iPhone 8 from a few years back. It's expected to be officially unveiled as soon as March. This would be Apple's first low-cost iPhone since 2016. Has there ever been a low-cost iPhone?
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's about time they bring the price down and make it a little more affordable.
Absolutely.